stakes are on the line, putting that scare into someone can definitely make them play like a lot more defensive than they actually really have to, and just using that kind of to your advantage is a really good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But choosing not to, I feel like if they popped all their cooldowns in the opener of that game, it would have prevented him from shield walding. It would have prevented him from using rallying cry, but just because the enemy team would have been playing defensive and not actually going for a kill.
Yeah. But either way, very well played series there by Procking, who is going to be in the finals now. So they're going to be all the way in the finals, and congratulations to them. And we will be going down and watching now. I believe it is going to be a K matchup. If you guys go to ProGameX.com/wow_tournament, you can see the brackets here. They're being updated as we speak. And it's going to be the LSD2 versus the LSD3, or whatever you want to call it, the Feral LSD. It's like the Feral Warlock Shaman versus the Moonkin Shaman Warlock. So both those teams are going to be pretty interesting to watch. And the winner of that is then going to go on and fight that RLS. So still a number of more matches to be played. We still have 4 more matches to be played. And as soon as these guys are ready, we're going to hop right into that.
Yeah, for sure. I do believe that the Feral team is using the GM account that I'm on for their Shaman, so I might be booted off during this match. I'm not sure if they got a tournament account for them or not, because this is being played on the tournament ROM, so we'll have to see.
I think that he was I was told that they were going to be making a new Shaman or something, so I think that it's okay. I think that they had new account.
Alright, sounds good. So we'll have to see. But yeah, for LSD versus that, and then the RLS. So I do believe, I think the RLS has a really good shot against either of these teams coming out of this. RLS is an extremely good comp, just against Shamans in general. It's a Shaman killer. That's what RLS, is really, really great at, I feel. So I have to see what they're able to do.
Yeah.
But of course, this first map, LSD. Oh, and then the game is started. Do you start the game up on their grind?
Yep.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, so it is going to be Feral Resto Warlock versus Moonkin Resto Warlock. So.
Yeah, definitely. So the only difference, obviously, being between those two Druid specs, between the Boomkin and the Feral Druid. Feral Druid offering more single target DPS, and the Boomkin, offering that big spread pressure with the high DPS Star Searchers coming in off the procs of his dots. So,
yeah.
Obviously, the both teams are going to be playing Pet Sack. Don't want their pets being dotted up, off dotted and then dying and having to resummon them. Just a huge hassle and just like a huge, kind of like a game thing for their healer to have to worry about all the time. So just really nice by them, in recognizing that versus both of these teams, Pet Sack is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think pretty much against any Warlock team, it's the way to go. Because
yeah, for sure. People like to abuse that.
Pets. Like maybe against a Demo Lock you don't need to, but Destro locks will kill off your pet and just shadow burn it and set up Havoc shadow burns off it if they're smart and as well. So pretty much anytime you're playing a Warlock, you don't really want to have a supremacy pet out. But they are going to be opening up onto a sketch here, onto this Moonkin right off the bat, and you're just going to displace her out of there and try to get some damage rolling. You can see him just spreading those Moonfires around, putting some damage out on the Furterus, but he's still just kind of rotting down. No heals have really come out just yet from Looney, but now Looney's going to be getting those heals going. And we do have the clone onto Dagestan into the root beam. I think that was actually freedom by Furterus, that stampeding roar. So nicely played by him to get his shaman out of that root beam. And now Looney taking a ton of damage back behind the pillar here. Furterus is going hard onto this shaman, and Stoneform is going to have to be popped for that rip. He's trying to get out of there. May have the gateway. I just popped the Ascendance. The NS comes out with the Ascendance. That's going to put him right back to full.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see the strategy of this FLS team, just noticing that this is a shaman killing team. FLS, every time you play it, you want to go on the shaman. If it's a shaman with their team, just tunnel the shaman, especially versus a team like this where there's no these are both dot spread pressure targets. These are not high burst target. This isn't a Warlock mage. This is Warlock Boomkin where they have tons of spread pressure over time. They're planning on riding the team in. With a hybrid team, you can just tunnel that shaman pretty safely. The Feral Dude will be healing himself a lot. The shaman and the Warlock are going to be playing super aggressive with them, so they're not really too scared. I mean, Charmer Totem's going to come on everything, but there's a Shadow Fear onto this Shaman on the FLS team, tons of CC and stuns going on him, but I mean, this LSD, they're not really riding this team too much. I mean, they're all still hovering around 80%, and Looney's in a lot of trouble. He's dipping down to around half. Full Feral Bleeds are onto him, and tons of damage is coming from Fritter, so he's forced to Trinket there, and Windshear, and he's going through his cooldown slowly. I mean, there's a Ascendant, Spear Walker's great, Trinket is going down, and I mean, he's still not out of trouble yet. I mean, he just gets kicked on that heal full, so he has to gate across the map on that, so good job by him, recognizing if he's kicked, he can just gate and get over there and cast a heal, but First is instantly on him, using that Feral mobility, getting there so fast, but I do believe it's a gate on their gate.
Yep. And he is able to do that. We do see the root beam going down onto Dagestan. Will they be able to get something rolling here? I mean, so far they've just been sitting at full HP. We see the heals actually coming out there from Foxita, who was getting a little bit nervous of the damage coming in onto him. Dagestan actually perhaps dropping that healing tide as well. I believe that was his. And a Sketch taking some damage. Looney, though, still the target. It seems like he's just rotting down, and Furterus will have to see if he's going to be able to get right back onto him. He is now. Fully dotted up here is Looney, and he's down about a half mana. Dagestan sitting at almost 100% mana, but Furterus getting very low, actually. May actually go down, gets bursted very hard there, drips down to about 80k. He's going to have to pop the Ursox and maybe use that Feral Shield Wall. I'm not actually sure if he has yet or not, but got absolutely chunked by one of those Star Surges.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely getting taken by the Boomkin there. And I mean, Boomkin damage, if they have, like, get a couple procs in a row, I mean, you can definitely just go from 100 to 0 very quickly if all of them end up critting in. Dagestan actually hasn't ended up using a cooldown yet. You know, he actually did just use a Senate NS there on Furterus because he got really scared for him. But the Boomkin from this enemy team, you know, he has popped Heart of the Wild, and that's just going to be pretty much their last cooldown for, like, the next 40 seconds or so before Lunar Trinket comes up. I mean, sure, they do have Blink, but if they can just kill before that. And there's the Root Beam coming out with Dagestan. This LSD is kind of starting to find their niche, but I mean, Looney's just running out of mana. I mean, this is like a timed game for them. If this Feral team is allowed to go for too long, I mean, Looney's not going to be able to keep up against his pressure, I don't believe, for too long, especially if he's using that Skull Bash consistently. That mana is just so huge. And there's a Talaterra coming out on both the teams. I do believe it's trembled off there by Looney, so great job by him. But, I mean, look, Dagestan's sitting at 100% mana, you know, keeping his team high, keeping his team top. Although Furterus, you know, he has Bark Skin up. He feels like he's taking a lot of pressure, but I mean, there's just no dots from him right now. He just get cleansed off by Dagestan.
Yeah, he does pump the Barks in there, you know, as you said. Dagestan doing very well on mana. Looney down to about 1/3 right now. The Mugen actually using his shield wall right there, the Symbiosis shield wall, so a bit interesting to see him popping that. You know, he was at full HP, maybe just wanted the Aura Mastery or something, but anyway, unless Furterus can just get absolutely chunked down, and I don't think he can if he plays safe. It looks like, you know, this is a losing match now for this Moonkin team. The Cyclone trying to come out here from Furterus. Will it land? It does in fact land there on a Red Hot. He's going to trinket that one. Doesn't want to have to sit through it, and I think rightfully so. Looney going to be getting connected right back onto him. But, you know, really, I want to see Red Hot drop a gateway, you know, away for a Shaman, because look at this. You know, the gate comes out there, but Furterus just takes his own gateway. They're right back onto him instantly, and Ice Cyclone did come out from a Skitch to kind of protect him. But, you know, when you're the team that's on the defensive, you need the defensive gateway, and your Warlock needs to kind of replace that and give him a shot at getting more distance than that, because he just has no time. And now all cooldowns coming out here from Furterus. He's popping everything at once. He's going to be going hard onto Looney. We'll see what he's going to be able to get done. Does get feared off. Is going to actually get dispelled out of that. Going to get refeared now. Will he decide to Trinket? He does have Berserking and everything pop, and he may actually be able to take him down now into Cyclone. That is going to be Trinketed, instantly recloned. Nice peels there by a Skitch and Red Hot.
Yeah, definitely. We do see the Spirit Walk basically being have to force it by Looney. It does expire now, but that's a cooldown kind of be forced up by him. But he didn't have to use a Trinket, he didn't have to use a Stone Form, he didn't have to use a whole lot there, so they're kind of stabilizing, you know. But we do see a full clone coming out in a Skitch, he doesn't have Trinket that. So great job by Furterus, you know, not only tunneling this Resto Shaman, but also deciding, you know, to get those clones out, get those CCs out on those DPS and forcing their Trinkets, thus allowing Foxita's Fierce to sit full on. We do clone on the Barkskin, great job by Skitch, you know, kind of cloning off those defensive cooldowns, but Looney is just under so much pressure by this Feral. I mean, as soon as he gates, he's right back on him. I would definitely love to see, as you said, Red Hot repositioning this gateway for a Shaman. Just every time, just every Warlock will have to be repositioning the gate all the time, but I do feel like it's worth it. I mean, if the Shaman can get away with one good gateway with CC on the Feral, that'd be very good, but we do see the rot pressure coming from this LSD. Further sitting around half, Foxita sitting around half, but I do believe that is Healing Tide being popped up by Dagestan, so, you know, that extra AoE healing coming in, and we do see his teammates both being topped up while he's in the Cyclone, so great job by him. Looney is forced to Trinket a stun there, and he's dipping just so low, those bleeds just doing so much work on him.
Yeah, they really are, and I mean, it's kind of funny watching the difference between the two Shamans. Dagestan just sits here, he's 100% mana, just pressing Dispel every 8 seconds and Riptide, and Looney is just, it's a real struggle for him, dude. He is just getting trained, he's it's very difficult for him in this match, whereas Dagestan is just having the time of his life, man. And Looney, once again, you know, gates away, but the Feral just takes his own gateway and he's right back on him instantly, so this is really just a big problem. He needs to be able to get away and get a drink off or something, you know, some way to alleviate this pressure, spread out the team a little bit, and try to capitalize on poor positioning. But when the gateway is just stacked on top of each other, it just seems like it's such an advantage for this Feral team, who is just constantly on top of Looney here, and you have to feel that eventually he is going to be getting into a spot where he just cannot recover. Stoneform does come out. We do see that he's doing a very good job so far, just staying alive as long as he can. Battlemaster going to have to be popped there as well. He does fake the Skull Bash, is going to be able to land that heal, but a Sketch is rotting quite a bit as well. And Looney down to 90,000 mana. Dagestan sitting at 300,000 out of 300,000 mana. And a Sketch actually is getting so low that the Healing Tide is going to have to be dropped there by Looney, but Furterus kills it off instantly. Going to be cloned up though by a Sketch. That'll be Trinketed. And we do see Looney and a Sketch both getting quite low. There's the gateway coming out once again, but the Feral instantly gates right back on top of him. Nature's Guardian comes out, but he's down to 50k mana.
Yeah, definitely getting so low. I mean, the issue profit you see his health goes up quite a bit, but I mean that will be fading soon, and that bonus will be off from very soon. And this Feral team, I mean, they're not under any pressure at all. This LSD isn't able to do anything. They're not even able to touch him, and Looney's just under so much pressure. Like he needs to get away somehow, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, Feral has so much mobility. They're not able to see him off him enough, and we just see the constant damage coming in. I mean, there's the haunt, there's the full bleeds, so low. It does get. I mean, I think he's just skull bashing for mana on like at this point. I mean, I don't think he even cares. The fear going into Askitch. I mean, just such a great job by Foxy. Just keeping full dots on anyone, make sure he's fearing everyone. Off DRs. But you see the clone coming out of Fritters sits that. But I mean, Nature's Vigil is being popped here. The damage cooldowns from Fritters are being popped here. So tons of stuff. As soon as we come up on Looney, we do see those huge bleeds coming out with those damage modifier effects. And I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be able to last. Gauge across the map, but the Ferals they're going to be there so soon. He just gauge across himself, and the one shot has been popped by Fritters. I mean, this is all the damage coming in now, and Looney doesn't have much left. I mean, sure he has Trinket Link, and I think that's going to have to be, forced here maybe, but there's the Spirit Walker's Grace and the Ascendance, and Fritters is cloned, so I guess he'll be okay with those cooldowns, but I mean, his mana just looking at such a grim position.
Yeah, it definitely is, and Fritters right back on him. Going to get Howl to tear it up, though. That will break through those dots pretty quickly, and Fritters is doing a good job killing off all of the totems that Looney is dropping as well. He's killing off the healing streams, the healing tides, the mana tides, etc. Very quickly. And a nice clone comes out there from Fritters onto Red Hot. Foxy actually starting to rot a bit, and he is a bit low on mana. Both Warlocks have been doing an admirable job of spreading out the dots, but just with this Feral sticking to Looney, Nature's Guardian has proc there, and he's having to have the Earth Shield on. He's down 100k HP, but he's 40k mana as well. May go down here. The Link just comes out in time. He is going to be able to survive for now. Fritters actually accidentally clicked the gateway there. He gave the way from the Shaman, and now the Shaman is actually going to maybe be able to get a little bit of respite if he goes through that gateway.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to get a lead away, so I'm actually going to be surprised if he doesn't end up choosing to gate here. But he's just running across the ramp, running to the other pillar, recognizing the Feral doesn't have his gate. So just kind of try to use his mobility while I can. There comes the gateway, and Fritters is not able to gate back. Must have been trying to click a totem or something, and just found it very hard to do that with all the gateways clustered down, and sometimes it does happen, but we do see the pressure coming out onto this Resto Shaman from this LSD, and the Trinket is end up being forced. I feel like if they actually do that, if they go for the burst on Dagestan over and over again, they may actually be able to get something done, because he is sitting so low. I think he's going to be okay, because the dot pressure isn't too much, and they don't really have any CC for him to keep him in place, keep him locked up, but if they can get a Solar Beam into a Shadow Fury, or I'm not sure if they're running Coil, I do believe they're running Shadow Fury though, but I mean, if they can get a Shadow Fury off of a Solar Beam or something, they can get a lot done into a bash from the Boomkin. I mean, that's a lot of CC, and they can, I mean, even though they're only dots, I mean, a couple Star Searches, we can see a lot of pressure, but there goes the full Shadow Fury onto Looney. There's a Stormform coming out of him, dipping so low. Not many cooldowns left in the book for him. He does end up Wind Shearing cast, just spamming out those healing waves. He doesn't have enough mana for anything else, but doing a great job actually keeping himself kind of just sustaining on this low amount of mana. He's doing a good job, keeping himself alive, keeping his team in the game. But the Heart of the Wild is out from Skitch, and this is going to be a huge heal. There comes the NS Heart of the Wild heal, going out for about 300k onto Looney. Keeping him topped up. So good job by Skitch. Using his defensive cooldowns. Recognizing that earlier in the game, he used it as early as possible, as to get a max benefit out of it. And it's just gonna be up again later in the game. But I feel like if this game does end up, kind of going into dampening, it could end up favoring this team. But Dagestan on the other hand, put him to the full mate, dipping so low, but I think he's going to be okay as there's no more CC chain for him.
Yeah. He does get MCS there, but the Nature's Guardian came out. He is going to be able to top himself back off. And I mean, Looney has been sitting very low mana for a long time, but they haven't been able to tap him out completely. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually turn this around as dampening does start to come into effect. And Dagestan, it seems like they have kind of found their strategy a little bit more. It seems like they have realized that they have to go on the Shaman, and he gets caught by a Capstun there. Full dots put up onto him. The Star Surge comes crashing in. He's going to be dipped to half HP right away from that. Looney's still very low in mana, very low in HP. MCS comes out on Dagestan. He pops a stone for him. He's going for this Unleashed heal. He will be able to get that off him. We see actually Nature's Guardian already proccing again there for Dagestan. He's going to get rooted up in the middle of the map. Fritters getting a little bit low, and as Dagestan crosses the map, he will get redotted here very likely. Yeah, full dots do go back up on him, and he has to drop the healing tide. So this LSD2 finally starting to get their stride a little bit. The 150k HP left onto Dagestan could be in a bit of trouble. Will he be able to get that heal off? No, he gets CS. Is it going to be actually faked? I'm not sure. Did he fake it? No, it does not look like it. He did get locked out, but he's behind the pillar, and I think he's going to be okay. No, the Root Beam does come in. Very nicely played there by a Sketch. We do see that the Fritters does pop the Stampeding Roar, gets him out of there, and he is going to be able to gate across the map to safety.
Yeah, definitely. Great play by them, using that Stampeding Roar defensively. Great job by him, realizing that's a good tool to use against the Root Beam. And, they're just tunneling to Looney. That is their strat. They are not giving up. Full haunt dots up on him, bleeds as well. And You know, this LSD is kind of finding their place. I mean, Looney is stabilizing. I mean, he's like, you know, we haven't seen him dip too low in a while. I mean, before he was like 60k Nature Visual Proc, but Nature Guardian Proc. But I mean, that is back up now, and his Link is back up ready again. And Dagestan, you know, he's the one taking the pressure now. I mean, this Boomkin LSD, they finally found like, you know, tunnel the Shaman, get him in, and his mana is dipping like so low. But this Feral team, you know, they switched over to a Skitch and do force the Ursox out of him, dipping so low, but picks him back up to, you know, about half health, and I think that Looney will be able to top him off here. But this Feral team, you know, they realize, you know, they can't tunnel the Shaman if this Boomkin LSD is going on to their Shaman, because it just feels like there's too much pressure going out.
Yep, and Dagestan, though, going for a drink now. He was very low in mana. Looney had actually caught up in mana to Dagestan somehow. But, you know, Dagestan did get a pretty decent drink off there, drank about 60,000 mana. Looney getting low once again here, but he does have the Ascendance up. Will he actually go down? Maim comes out. That's going to be trinketed. A Skitch, Red Hot, and Looney all starting to rot. And, you know, I have to assume that we are in dampening now. Red Hot pretty low here. Dagestan down very low himself, actually. Does have the Unleash up, not using it. Nature's Guardian procs just in time. Gets the Ascendance NS off there. Dagestan almost went down without using anything. He was down about 60k HP. Skitch now getting quite low himself, and Looney once again struggling on mana, but look at Dagestan, man. He's just really not able to heal through this. And another massive heal does come out onto him. I'm not sure what that was, but Tesoro, Foxita, very low. Furterus, very low. And Dagestan is really starting to struggle here. It seems like they've kind of found what they've been doing wrong, and Blue Lagyna looking to try to turn this around and really get something done here. Will they be able to do it? There's a Halatair onto Dagestan. He's going to be tremoring out of that, but Tesoro, Foxita is very low. Furterus is getting a little bit lower himself, and the Shaman back behind the map, behind the pillar, maybe looking for a drink or something. Does get dotted up, though. He's not going to be able to get it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's finding a very hard time with this Boomkin team, you know, tunneling to the Shaman, like putting the pressure on him. His teammates are just rotting, chasing that enemy versus Shaman, because if you are, in fact, tunneling the enemy healer, most of the time you're going to be out of position versus any team. So great job by them kind of like utilizing the fact that if they're tunneling versus Shaman, that means the enemy team's versus is going to be their time. We do see the full fear going into Dagestan. He for sure is going to be a target. He does end up tricking that. In so much trouble. There's a root beam coming out of him. I do believe it was actually just, you know, great job by Frisch, you know, stampeding Roarm out of that, you know, using that to the maximum ability that he can. But Dagestan is under so much pressure, you know, dipping low. That does pop up the Spirit Walker's Grace. He'll be okay here, you know, spamming out those healing surges. And Looney on the other side of the map under so much pressure, you know, he is completely tapped. NS does just come back up for him. Nature's Guardian does prop, you know. I wonder if he's going to be trying to, you know, gate away here soon. Skitch, you know, he's spamming those rejuvenations on him, trying to pick him up as much as he can. I wonder if we're going to be able to see the Link Force out from here, because he's just so low. But the Feral Jude is able to connect right now. So much damage coming on to both teams. Dagestan under a lot of pressure as well. You know, he does have that Unleash up. But right now, the Demon Soul is up for Foxita. It seems to be whichever team has the Demon Soul up, obviously, is getting way more pressure. Looney under so much pressure. I mean, those are hot Demon Soul dots. That is so much damage. There comes the Link. So using that cooldown here to kind of counter that Demon Soul pressure as much as possible. We do see the full clone going up on Foxita. So great job, you know. Maybe the dots will start falling, and they do, you know, no dots on the Skitch, no dots on Red Hot, you know. The Halatair comes out instantly tremored by Looney. Great job by him. Full dots on him, and we're going to have to see what they can do, you know. They're just CCing this Warlock, you know. Look, he's put into the full Pex, the full Fear, you know, trying to, you know, eliminate as much spread pressure as they can right now. And here comes the Demon Soul of Red Hot. We're going to see huge pressure coming out of this Boomkin team very soon onto this Feral Resto Shaman team. As this Demon Soul is going to do a lot, but Looney is forced to pop the Spirit Walker's Grace, you know, dipping so low. The Guardian pop. He does end up faking that Skull Bash. He does have to use Trinket, though, and he's out of cooldowns. I mean, he doesn't have much left. He's dipping down to 50k health. Will this be it for him? And surely he will go down, and he does go down to this Feral LSD team, and just tunnel the rest of Shaman 100% of the game. I mean, they never went off on him. I mean, maybe a Skitch just a couple times when he got away, but great job by them, you know, just keeping up with their strat, knowing what they have to do, but it's not over yet. They're trying to kill Dagestan. He's down to 100k health, and there comes the Link, the safety Link in the end, and he'll be okay, and I think that will secure them the win.
Yeah, I would definitely assume so, and even the Tranquility coming out, but maybe not. Foxita is actually going down through this Tranquility. Foxita down to 20k HP, 10k HP. Will he go down? He'll live with 10k. Are you kidding me? He's still getting very low, but can they actually survive? A Skitch probably going to go down here. And that was actually ridiculously close.
Oh my goodness.
In the end, man. Foxita lived with like 10k. Dagestan barely lived. They almost killed their whole team. Dampening must have been huge at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Dampening was. They were probably about. I'd say.
That was a long game, man.
I think there was 3 Heart of the Wilds forced out. So I mean, that's 18 minutes. So the game was definitely very long. I mean, I don't think it was quite that. Maybe there wasn't
the
3.
First
maybe
one, the first one could be used instantly. So it depends on when the first one was used, right?
Yeah, for sure. So the first one was used probably within the first 1 or 2 minutes. So it was probably at least 4 or 5 minutes into dampening.
14, 15-minute game, I would imagine.
Yeah,
that was
I think 14 or 15-minute game for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll have to find out what the map pick is going to be. It's probably going to be Blade's Edge, I would imagine. Yeah.
I think Tol'Vurrun is a good choice for them as well.
Okay.
because just the way the map works. Like I think on Blade's Edge, the Pharaoh's going to be very easily connected to the Resto Shaman. I'm not sure if they care too much. I mean, they lived a long time with the Pharaoh, even connecting to Resto Shaman on Negra, and it was pretty insane. So I mean, also they weren't using that kill the Resto Shaman strat right away. Like maybe they were, and dampening just wasn't high enough, or they weren't getting enough pressure. But I mean, with this newfound strategy that they kind of found, it felt like they were doing a lot more things. They were doing a lot better. They were getting a lot more pressure just by trying to hit this feral Resto Shaman team, like trying to just get on that Resto Shaman as much as possible with the solar beams into the stun. And I'm wondering if they're running coil or not. If they're not, I feel like they should and just be going for those kills on that Resto Shaman every minute.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Death Glow is actually pretty short cooldown, so. I mean,
Are they just going back into Negra?
Yep, that's their map pick is going to be Negrand. So I do think that that the Bash Coil MCS combo is very easy to pull off and can be very strong. So we'll see if they're going to do that, but we might be in for another long one, as it is going to be right back to Negrand. And we do have Foxita. Their team is up 1-0.
Yeah, very good job by them, I mean, at the end, that was some last-minute, heroics trying to come up from the Boomkin team, but it didn't end up happening, so such very close. I mean, healing was probably basically down almost to nothing, and, just utilizing all that spread pressure that they had, getting Foxita down to 10k, almost killing the rest of Shaman. I thought when the Link came down, it was definitely over, but it wasn't. They proved me wrong, so we're going to see what they do this game. I expect Dagestan, kind of be the target to watch a lot, because I feel like that's what they're trying to be going on, what they're going to be trying to kill, but we'll see if the Feral team ends up switching it up. I don't think they'll switch it up too much. I think they're just going to try to kill Looney, but do it better.
Yep. And at the same time, we have Dagestan charging on out here. And guys, for you viewers, the prize pool is 1,800 euros, 900 for first, 600 for second, 300 euros for third. So pretty awesome. And Sketch going to be actually the target here to start things off. So maybe going to be swapping things up over on this Moonkin. Will they not go on the shot in this game? It'll be interesting to see if that is the case. Sketch taking quite a bit of damage actually early on. Fritter still getting chunked down very hard by that Moonkin burst, and the Shadow Fury does come out onto the Moonkin. And will they be able to really get anything done? I mean, Dagestan already in a lot of trouble. Does actually pop the Stoneform, and it does pop that Ascendance behind the pillar as well. So he's going to be healing himself right back up. A Skitch, Looney, and Red Hawk really starting to rot, though. This is a very fast start to this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, tons of pressure coming from both teams. With those Demon Souls popping tons of damage. We do see the full clone coming out of Dagestan, choosing not to trinket that first, just have all his cooldowns up. Nature Vigil actually supplying a lot of healing with all that. And we do see the healing tide being thrown down. I do believe that was Looney's healing time. Yeah, it isn't being killed off pretty quickly. But just so much damage. Look at the Boomkin. He's at half. Looney's down to half as well. Does get thrown into the main. The Cyclone first trying to get a Cyclone does end up getting on Red Hot, and the Heart of the Wild is being popped there by a Skitch. So I do believe they're going to be able to survive through this. Through this onslaught of pressure. But I do believe Looney's going to end up being okay. With that Heart of the Wild being popped. Tons of healing going to be thrown out there from the Boomkin, almost like a Resto Druid, and peeling effectively, cloning Foxita, and the Demon Soul cooldowns are down now. The game's going to kind of start to even out, but I do believe the Feral team got in kind of like a little bit of a better exchange during that engagement, though. They forced out the healing tide, they forced out the NS, they forced out Trinket, I believe. Oh no, they're just supposed to Stormform, but Trinket from the Warlock, so just tons of pressure. Heart of the Wild being forced as well. We're going to have to see what's going to happen during the next Demon Soul, but I think the game's going to kind of like calm down for a little bit now and just relax. But I want to see more swaps on the Dagestan from this Boomkin team. I mean, he's not dotted up. He's playing super defensive, not allowing the Warlock to soul swap Dostrom, not allowing the Boomkin to get him. But Looney's under tons of pressure, dipping down to a half health, and Gate's away here. But I mean, the Gate is right on them. I want to see them like replacing that Gateway, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it definitely would be nice if they would do that. Further, it's going to get cloned up there by a Skitch. UA spell caught by Dagestan. And we can see that the Stampeding Roar was actually popped by Furtus as well to catch right back up to Looney. And he is right back onto him. Foxita going to get knocked away by a Skitch. Everyone on Looney's team, though, starting to dot in there. Honestly, doing a much better job this time of the spread pressure, I have to say. A Skitch is going to pop that Tranquility, trying to top his team back off. Looney in some trouble, but that Tranquility should be more than enough. But last game, they did tunnel Looney the whole time. But the pressure onto Red Hot and the Skitch, I think, was much slower. So I feel like the Feral LSD is doing a better job this game, and Looney, as a result, he's having to put more heals onto other people on his team, and that's really making it more difficult for him to heal himself up as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're a melee class and you're tunneling into Resto Shaman, you're playing with a spread pressure Warlock, and that Resto Shaman, having to cast healing surges into his teammates, like that is not ideal at all. He wants to be using every single heal that he can on himself that he can get off, because it's just so difficult. But look, the Feral instantly on him, not even able to get one heal off. It's almost like a warrior just heroic leaping over to him, and he's in so much trouble. I mean, he gets skull bashed on that heal, locked out, and there comes the Earth Shield, there comes the Unleash coming out. So great job by him. Is not forced actually to Trinket there, but so good job by him. But I mean, the Nature's Guardian was proc, so next time he gets super low, it's going to be big trouble for him, because that's not going to be there. But on the other side, Dagestan, put into the Shadow Fury, lots of damage coming at him into the Fear. does end up just being broken on damage. Doesn't have to tremor that, but just a lot of damage from this Boomkin LC going in. But Looney on the other hand, dipping down to half. Both teams are just dying so quickly. Looney is forced to Stoneform the bleeds off there. So just a great job, choosing to play Dwarf in this matchup. So powerful against a Feral Druid. And getting those bleeds off, getting those healing surges off, being able to top himself, using that Earth Shock to get 10% damage reduction onto Fritters. A really just solid play for coming up from Looney here. Gaining across the map, but first, he's just gonna be on him right away instantly again. He's there, he's on him, he's on that Rescue Shaman. Like he knows what's up. He's a Taliesin, he knows how to do. And this LSD team isn't really doing what they need to. I mean, look at the enemy team. I mean, look at Fritters, look at Foxita, look at Dagestan. I mean, they're not dotted at all. They're not getting out the pressure they need to. And Looney is just dying so fast. Trinket being forced out there, trying to get the healing surges off. He looks like he's dying pretty quickly.
Yeah, Foxita's honestly doing an awesome job this game, keeping dots spread around, and you can really tell the difference in pressure that's coming out. It seems like Foxita is doing much more this time around. Dagestan is taking a little bit of damage himself, but Looney really, his mana is pretty even with Dagestan, surprisingly. And although it seems like the much more pressure has been coming out onto Looney, Dagestan does get chunked down every once in a while, and the Healing Tide is going to actually be forced there. So we are going to see that dropping down, and Dagestan getting dipped down pretty low. Nature's Guardian did proc. He's going to have to drop his Healing Tide as well. He's hexed up offensively very shortly there. He was down to about 150k HP. His Healing Tide did get killed off, I do believe. No, my mistake. It is still up. So he's going to be okay. The Shadow Fury does come down, not able to connect just yet. The Fear on that heal actually is going to force the Trinket from a Sketch. A Sketch is trying to stay offensive there and is not going to be able to finish him off. He's actually just going to gate right after him, though. And the dots now finally coming up from Red Hot onto everyone. Red Hot is really getting that pressure rolling, and Looney is going to be catching an Innervate there from a Sketch, just trying to give him any little bit of mana that he can, as a Sketch really is going to need it.
Yeah, for sure. Looney just dipping down so low and stuck in that Shadow Fury. Actually, no Trinket available, dipping so low. We might have to see a Link Force here. No, there's the Spirit Walker's Drake coming out. Getting those Aura Mastery heals off. There's the NS coming out of Looney. So great job by him. But on the other hand, we do see Foxita cloned, and I believe they're going to be looking for pressure on Dagestan here. I mean, he's got full dots, the Boomkin coming in, trying to throw the Star Stitches out. If we can see, that Root Queen come out, that Bash coming out of that, the Shadow Fury, MCS combination coming out of that, we can see him dipping fairly low, but he doesn't feel too much pressure. We do see a Hex off the full Fear onto Fritters, but thrown into the clone, so, just throwing CC on that Feral Druid, trying to get Looney as much as he can, and Looney actually, I do believe, drank to full mana there on that, he got to gate away while the Feral Druid was CC'd. So, great job by this LG just playing like a whole heck of a lot better this match. Last match we saw this game around this point, like Dagestan was, he was sitting at full mana. Looney was like almost completely tapped. But this game, the situation has kind of been reversed. Dagestan is now the one with like really out of mana, and Looney's sitting at full. And this LC, really just finding like their group. They're doing really good job right now. Traders having to sit that full clone, no Trinket available. We're going to see the pressure thrown into Dagestan here. Stuck into that root, freed himself out of it, so great job by him trying to get away, but I mean, he's just stuck there, the Boomkin damage coming in, but we just do the full clone on a Sketch. Great job by Fritters peeling him off, but I mean, even then, the Nature's Guardian does proc, and he does have to throw his Tremor Turn out, so if we can see another good swap on him, without that Nature's Guardian, he could just go down, because that is a lot of bonus health that they do get from that talent.
Yeah, definitely, but at the same time, the cooldown is very low on it, so, it is up quite often. Looney is going to be feared up. We do see the Battle Master having been popped from him there. It is going to expire, and this is the Nature's Guardian, so Looney could be in some trouble here, down to 100k HP briefly. The Haunt connects on him as well. Starfall being popped here by a Sketch, trying to do as much damage as possible, but Looney is caught into that Maim. He doesn't have a Trinket available. Could Looney actually go down here? We do see the NS heal coming out from Sketch, and Nature's Guardian actually does proc once again there for Looney, so I believe it was only a minute cooldown or so. So not too long of a time to wait. Dagestan under some pressure, but is going to get right back behind the pillar and actually using those healing waves as opposed to the healing surges, just trying to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to have to definitely look to be as efficient as possible because, I mean, damping's going to come pretty soon, but we do see the full Solar Beam going on him, and he's not actually moving out of it. I don't believe it was a second root, but here comes the Freedom Feral Sprint out of that, so he's able to get away. But Looney, under so much pressure, I mean, the Haunt, dots are coming out, he does have the Stone Form that bleeds off, and Ascendance heals are popped. He'll be okay with those cooldowns. Topping his entire team back off with those Ascendance heals, so much potential coming out with that Ascendance, and, this LSD team, they're not under too much pressure right now, but the dots aren't out yet. I mean, Fritters hasn't been able to connect to the Shaman for a while, and I'm wondering if they're going to be actually deciding to switch off, because we do see the Skull Bash, going on to Red Hot, but no, the Feral Druid's instantly just getting back on the Shaman. They realize that's the strat they need to do, but the Celestial Alliance, is actually being popped by a Sketch, so this is going to be tons of Boomkin pressure going out, and he's just, casting those Boomkin abilities onto Dagestan, and Dagestan dipping so low. He's down to 200k out of 800k health, the Nature's Guardian proc, and he does have to use his NS heal on himself, topping himself back off. Great job by him, but I mean, the pressure isn't done yet. There goes the Haunt. There comes everything into him, but on the other hand, Looney is dipping so low. The Feral Druid does pop all of his cooldowns onto him, the Berserk and the Incarnation, so tons and tons of damage. He's having to run back into the Shaman and try to get as much pressure as he can, but we do see, both teams just kind of tunneling to that Shaman, doing as much as they can, trying to peel off the DPS when they can and get that spread pressure, but the kill targets are the rest of Shamans. That's the targets that they're looking to go for every single time.
Yeah, definitely. And Furterus was able to kill off that Healing Tide right away, but Looney gave him enough time to kind of get those heals off and top himself. He's going to be put into the Shadow Fury. The clone comes out onto Red Hot as well, and Looney does have that Unleash up. He's going to be able to get the Healing Surge off and should be okay. Dagestan at the same time, Nature's Guardian proccing for him once again, but gets that massive Unleash crit there. Going to go right back to full HP, and both Shamans seem to be pretty stable, honestly. Although they are taking a lot of damage, it doesn't seem like they're really going to go down until dampening, and they're doing just a really good job healing through it, honestly, and rotating through their cooldowns. And as a result, it seems like they always have something available. The Ascendance comes out. Dagestan did get low there, but is going to be able to top himself right back off and dropping the Mana Tide back behind the pillar. Going to be able to get quite a bit of mana back here and probably catch right back up with where Looney is, or at least get closer to it. Looney actually pulling way ahead in the mana there. I believe he just sit down for a drink and back up to 250k as a result.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ferris not able to connect him for a really long time. If they're able to peel Ferris off, like three Fears into 3 Cyclones, I mean, that's a long time without him actually connecting onto Looney, and that, just even the mana regen passively with that will be so huge. But the full bleeds are coming back out for them. Ferris popping his Nature's Vigil, wanting to get tons of pressure on Looney, and we do see that as a result. Dipping down super low, Nature's Guardian procs. Uses the Battle Master, tons of damage coming out. We see a Hex on Red Hot. And there's I do believe it was a decurse coming out of Skitch, and the Heart of the Wild has popped again. So, I mean, that's been 2 Heart of the Wild so far. So, we're looking at probably about 7 or 8 minutes into this game so far. So, dampening is going to be coming pretty soon. Fear onto Tesoro Froxita, does just break on damage. And, not too much going on right now, but Dagestan, dipping down pretty low. There's the Disorienting Roar coming out from a Skitch. So, he is running that talent and not, in fact, the Bash. Feeling like that's more of a necessity for him trying to peel. But there's the Maim coming out from him. So, great job by him. Does trigger into a full Hex. He drinks full Hex, he's down to 100k health. Might have to see the Link being forced. No, he just gates across. Super dangerous actually for him there, but does NS heal across. So feeling very confident in his ability to survive with that gateway. So great job by Dagestan from this Feral LSD. But the Demon Soul has been popped by Foxita, so we're going to see huge pressure coming up. But I'm not sure if I agree popping Demon Soul into the end of Heart of the Wild. Maybe that's a little bit of an overlap, a little bit of a mistake, because Heart of the Wild is a pretty good counter to Demon Soul, but we'll have to see if it doesn't end up mattering, because Fritters is dipping so low, down to 100k. We do see the Ursocks being forced out by him, and Dagestan actually cut into that root beam, but doesn't end up breaking on damage, and coming behind the pillar, just popping that healing stream down. Hopefully he can top his team out off, but there's just so much pressure. Both teams sitting at half health, and I'm not sure if Looney or Dagestan are going to be able to top them off here.
Yeah, Red Hot going to have to use his healing cooldowns. Foxita using his as well. Both Warlocks popping those. A nice clone comes out from a Sketch onto Foxita's healing cooldowns, though. But Looney, both his teammates are very low. Dagestan's starting to catch up, whereas Looney is really starting to struggle a little bit here. Going to pop the Spirit Walker's Grace and try to assist with that. But Foxita doing a fantastic job spreading the dots around, catches both DPS with that Shadow Fury into the Howl onto them as well. And Dagestan does dip down quite low there. But Looney, he's very low, man, and he's really struggling here. We have Furtos just right on the back of him the whole time, and is going to be able to get that full Tranquility off, which is going to help a lot. That Moonkin healing is actually quite powerful with that Tranquility hot up, but now it has expired, and Skitch once again starting to rot a bit. Dagestan constantly getting chunked down, but the thing with Dagestan is, although he does get chunked down pretty low, if he can get away, he always tops himself right back off, and he's now caught into the Reap Beam. The Maim is going to come out as well. Will they be able to finish him off here? The Maim comes out. He doesn't have a PvP trigger. He may go down, and they do get the kill onto Dagestan. Can there be a cross kill? We will see. I don't think so. But Dagestan got caught into the Root Beam, and then we saw a Skitch go into that cat form, got the Maim on him with no trinket. So well played there by a Skitch, and Red Hot and the Skitch are going to lock themselves in that kill. And Furterus very low, Foxita hexed up, feared away. No way they're going to come back from this one. So we're all tied up, man.
Yeah, 1-1 for both teams. I mean, like this LSD, they figure, go back to Negra and just play it better, play it more solid this time, realize the strategy, what they needed to do, and then they just executed it well, and they got the win. I mean, great job by them, recognizing that Dagestan was away from his team there, split from his team. The Shaman gave it across the map. The Pharaoh and the Warlock followed because they're telling him all game. And, just a Skitch, just building up those cobble points slowly. I'm sure you're just switching to cat form, getting a Maim or two, or getting a Mangle or a Rake or two on him every so often. Just building them up to 5 every so often. And, that full Maim, that full stun, it's very huge. I don't see a lot of Boomkins doing that, when they're tunneling healers. So great job by him, just using that stun that they do have, even though they're Boomkin as a Feral Druid, offensively, and do get the kill because of that.
Yeah, interesting that it was also, the damage was basically completely even on both sides. The Feral did basically the exact same as Moonkin, and both Warlocks basically did the exact same. I mean, within a couple 100,000 over that long of a game is pretty crazy. So
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Very evenly matched. And we are going to be going into Game 3 once we do find out exactly what they're going to be wanting to play. Let's ask them. I'm kind of hoping it's not going to be Negrand again.
Yeah, me too. I feel like if it's Negrand again, it's going to be another marathon.
Yeah, Lordaeron, okay.
Alright, that sounds good to me.
It sounds like a great blue training map to me, man, if I ever heard of it.
Sounds like a great choice. Yeah, if I wanted to train a blue, I would pick either that or Dalaran Sewers, but I do believe that's even a better choice.
Yep, splendid. Alright, so we're getting queued up. We'll see if they're going to be able to train down this blue more effectively on Runes of Lordaeron. It's Game 3, and we are going to be going on in, guys. Whoever loses this one is going to be eliminated from the tournament, as this is already the lower bracket. It is also the first round of the lower bracket, so whoever loses here, it means they didn't even win a game, unfortunately for them, which isn't a situation you really want to be in. You want to at least be able to kind of hold your head up high and say you took a series,
Yeah, for sure. You want to say, I wasn't, I took a series, I beat these guys, we did, we can improve next tournament, but at least we did get a win. And, it does suck going to a tournament, not even be able to pull out a series win. So we're going to have to see, it is tied 1-1 in this losers bracket first round. So it's actually, I'm not sure who's going to win. It is the blue tunneling map, but both teams do seem to be tunneling the blue, even if one is a caster team. So going to be interesting to see what does end up going on here. The Feral team, I don't think they have a ton of the rest of Shaman fighting this comp. I do believe other targets are viable for them. Boomkins do take a lot of damage, but, they're definitely, Fergus and them, they've been playing this comp together for a long time, so they probably know better than I do that Rest of Shaman is the target to go on. You see both Warlocks, just casually, casting that gateway. There's no way you can interrupt them on Runes of Lordaeron, and the Feral dude, Fergus is looking for his target, does pounce onto his Skitch. He's been doing this every game, opening on his Skitch. Probably just trying to get, a big sour draw up, and then going to switch it over to the rest of Shaman. But we're going to have to see what he decides to do here. He does... Go ahead.
Nice beam does go down there to Tesoro. Voxita actually, unfortunately, unbound a UA there. Right same time as he did get feared up, the UA went up and he unbound that, taking a lot of damage. Sketch is going to be taking quite a bit of damage himself as well. Maybe they're actually going to stick more to this Moonkin this time. It'll be interesting to see if they're going to go for that. The clone does come out from him, though, but he's down to about 250k HP, 150k HP. Actually going to have to pop the Ursox already with his Feral in the Cyclone. Looney gets feared up, and the Unleash coming up from Looney, he's probably going to be able to get a big heal off there. Spearwalker's Grace being forced out as well, so a great start, I have to say, here from Foxita and Furterus, getting some big pressure going on straight onto this Moonkin. But interesting to see that they picked Runes to go on the Moonkin.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that map choice. I feel like if you were to pick Runes, you would be wanting to tunnel a healer. It is a healer tunneling map, but I guess they feel like the best thing for them to do is to go on this Moonkin now. Moonkins do take a lot of damage from Feral dudes. They take so much, without Barkskin going on, without any of that, those cooldowns up, they take a lot of damage. But also, on the other hand, if you tunnel into Moonkin, they do end up doing more damage. With that Owlkin Frenzy, it does allow them to do 10% more damage. So if they tunnel into this Moonkin for too long, and he does have that Owlkin Frenzy up, we could see a lot more damage coming out from this team, but the Root Beam coming on onto Dagestan, huge pressure coming out. He does have to pop his Ascendance and Nature Guardian. Doesn't pop Ascendance and the Unleashed Shield, but this LSD team, they're getting tons of pressure. They're getting lots of spread pressure going on from this team, and I'm not sure if tunneling the Boomkin is going to end up working in a long goal for them for this Feral team.
Yeah, look at the mana on Dagestan already. Dagestan's actually quite a bit behind on mana, and usually he's ahead at this point, so it's interesting to see the difference that it is causing, and the Cyclone is going to come out onto Furterus there. Foxita also did have to use his healing cooldowns earlier, as he was kind of rotting down a fair bit, pushed him pretty far, and will they be able to actually capitalize on that? We'll see. Red Hot doing a great job spreading those dots around, but Foxita doing a great job as well. Both Warlocks full dots on the entire team. On either side, so Dagestan is at 125k mana, Looney at about 200,000 right now. Really the only difference between these two teams is that mana, but we've not actually seen it be an issue. Even though they do get low, they never really get totally tapped out, it seems.
Yeah, it feels like they can kind of, eventually they stable off and stabilize at that really, really low mana pool. We do see Hollow Terror going out onto Dagestan. He doesn't have tremoring that. Furter's taking a lot of pressure, and that's the disadvantage of tunneling to the Boomkin. You're going to take so much more damage, and Heart of the Wild is being forced on a Sketch on those Feral Dude cooldowns. The clone does come out onto Furter, so great job of him. Furter just ends up triggering that, and Dagestan caught into that Root Beam, does end up throwing the spell, catches a UA, but will be just fine there. Skitch just pumping out those regrowth, or rejuvenations, doing as much healing as possible. We do see the Disorienting Roar go into Looney, maybe trying to follow up the clone, does not able to get it, and not too much coming out with these Feral cooldowns. Skitch is just comfortable, countering that with the Heart of the Wild, countering his cooldowns, but Demon Soul being popped from Red Hot, tons of pressure about to be coming out onto this Feral Dude team, and I'm not too sure what they have left. I think Dagestan has anything, but if they can get a lot of cooldowns here, before the game even lasts for too long without dampening coming in, they can get a lot of things going on.
That was actually pretty funny. A Skitch actually popped Heart of the Wild and went into cat form and was going cat versus cat onto Fritterus, and Fritterus actually was the one who had to run away since the Heart of the Wild was up from a Skitch. So kind of a little funny exchange there. Looney though caught into the fear, and Skitch actually taking quite a bit of damage. Is going to have the Heart of the Wild healing as well, and Ursoc's just coming back up for him now. He does have his NS back available as well, Beam, Starfile as well coming up. So a lot of cooldowns just came back up for a Skitch, and he's going to pop the Starfall immediately. Will they be able to get anything done here? They pull Fritterus way back, get the Cyclone on him, and now they're going to look to go over onto Dagestan, I do believe, who did get pulled in as a result of how far Fritterus was pushing in. So they're going to be able to get the Root Beam down onto him. What can they get off of this? They have a Bash available. Stoneform goes out there from Dagestan, but it looks like he's just going to be able to walk behind the pillar and should be fine.
Yeah, I feel like this LSD is definitely using that cubbyhole kind of to their advantage. If Fritterus goes in there and pushes in, it's forcing Dagestan out into the middle of the map, as you said. And I mean, they're putting them to a bad situation. And this LSD is riding this Feral team so well. I mean, this is unlike Negran. Everyone on the Feral team is just constantly dying, constantly on the Predator. Dagestan's having the hardest time because he's stuck in the middle of the map so much. I mean, dipping down to 200k, Nature's Guardian proc. I mean, Boomkin just shooting these Star Searchers over and over again, getting tons of procs, but the Feral team is deciding, this Boomkin's not working, we're going to go on the Resto Shaman too, and they do force the Trinket very quickly out of Looney. Very good on them to kind of notice, the Boomkin's not working, we need to go back to our old strat. It wasn't that bad, maybe we can just do it, we can do it better. Full clone going on to Red Hot from Fritterus, Fear onto a Skitch, great cross CC coming out from this Feral team, and just tunneling into Looney. Looney's so comfortable just playing that cubbyhole though. I feel like if he's playing in there, and the Fritterus constantly going there, Fritterus is a great target for this LSG, just kind of sit there in the room and tunnel on. Force that Resto Shaman to come in and switch on him with pressure. Fritterus dipping low, force out of that room, and I feel like this is just a map choice. Them, having a very hard time getting onto Looney, getting into that room, and this LSG is just getting so much pressure because of it. Fritterus is having to force a shield wall because he's in that room playing so aggressive, and this Feral team seems to be falling apart just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the Ascendants did come up there from Dagestan as well. He's going to get Root Beamed on it. We'll see if they're going to be able to get anything done with that. Skitch actually playing very, very well here, I have to say. Fritterus going to have to pop the Ursox as well, as he was getting quite low. Dagestan going to be recloned up now by a Skitch, but Looney getting pretty low. A Skitch starting to rot down as well, so there is pressure on both sides. It's definitely not one-sided. The Healing Tide going to go down there from Looney. Will be able to top his team back off. Dagestan still sitting very high on mana, so as long as he can have the chance to get those heals off, he will be able to top his team. It's not like he's going to run out of mana here or anything like that. The Shear, though, is missed, and the clone comes through. The Star Surge going to be able to land on a Fritterus, dipping down to about half HP, below half HP now as those dots are ticking away. The Unleashed Shield comes out. Shadow Fury a split second too late there from Red Hot, and it is going to land. The Fear, though, coming out is going to force the Tremor, and we do see Looney now, once again, going to have to get out of there.
Yeah, for sure. The one-shot is being popped by Fritterus right now onto Looney. There's no Stormform available, so tons of pressure coming out. Also, lots of healing. Nature's Vigil actually converts your damage into healing as well, so every point of damage you do is doing a lot of healing as well. So great job by him, using that not only offensively, but also kind of like a defensive cooldown, allowing him to heal through that spread pressure on himself when his shield wall is down. We do see the Demon Soul being popped out of Tesoro, being hexed on that. Very good job by Looney, forcing the not even a decrease, just kind of broke on damage, but just kind of delaying it just a little bit. Dagestan, throwing out those Unleashed Shields, trying to top his team out as much as he can, but this LSD is taking tons of pressure, dots onto Looney, dots onto Askit. I want to see dots kind of go on Red Hot. I'd love to see full spread pressure going out, but Looney in so much trouble, having to pop his Stone Form. Full Feral Bleeds is sure to come follow that soon, and I mean, if they can connect to him a couple more times, get that Trinket, get more cooldowns, they might be able to force a kill, but this LST, they're very good at surviving, they're very good at sustaining, they've shown that in the Negre. I mean, they can stay for a really, really long time against this Feral team, and they're having a really hard time killing. One thing I noticed that Fritterus is doing very, very well is killing off all the healing streams. That is so huge when you're playing with the Warlock team. Warlock dots don't do all that much damage. Warlock is more a support class right now, so if you're able to kill off all those healing streams, your Warlock is just so much more effective than he normally would be.
Yeah, way more effective. It actually makes a huge difference, and it's very difficult to do that as a Warlock. Especially when you're not playing with a pet, because it takes so many Fel Flames to kill them that it's hardly even worthwhile, and sometimes the healing stream just heals itself through your damage. So having that Feral there to do it for you is very, very nice, and we do see Ascendant's going to be popped once again as Nature's Guardian did proc out there from Looney. Going to be able to top himself back off with that, but Fritterus right back onto him. As soon as that Nature's Guardian does drop, he's already back down to half HP. The Maim comes in, 200k HP. Nice capstun into the Fear. Dagestan dipping down to about 100k himself. Looney's still sitting low, but those Fears looking like they may be able to keep him alive. No, the Halitair comes in. This could be it. The Link may have to go down here. Battlemaster comes out there from Looney in some trouble. The Ennis coming out as well. He's trying to get over to his team. His Skitch is very low as well. So, I mean, he could be in some big trouble here if they're actually going to be able to keep this damage pumping out. I think the Link may be forced forced. Looney is kind of seeming like a chicken with the head cut off a little bit. He's walking back and forth, keeps walking towards his team for a link, but then realizes he's okay, and he took a lot of damage there, a little bit needlessly, I think.
Yeah, definitely, kind of unsure if he needed to link or not, running back and forth in the open, letting that Warlock tunnel into him over and over again. Not this is the best idea, but they turn around on a skitch right away, forcing him into bear form, forcing him to use his cooldowns, and tons of, just kind of utilizing that gateway, utilizing the fact that the Pressure Shaman gated away and the Boom King will be in a poor position, and lots of strikers coming out. Dagestan dipping down to 100k, Nature's Guardian does pop. We do see the Haunt, UA dots, everything going on to him, dipping down so low. We'll have to force out the Spirit Link cooldown. Great job from this Boom King team, putting that pressure onto him. And we do see, actually, I think Red Hot is not using the 10% damage reduction. I do think I saw a shield wall come out of him. Not entirely sure, but Fergus dipping down low into that cubby hole, into his Restoration Shaman. Have to do a lot of self-healing on himself in order to keep himself sustained without one on Dagestan to pull him. But dipping down so low, down to 90k health. Ursock's coming out. Barks getting forced as well. This Boom King team forcing cooldowns left and right from this LSD, but Looney on the head dipping down really low. Trinket is available, Link's still available, but his mana is dipping down so low. The Mame comes in, is instantly trinketed by Looney, tons of damage, full Feral Bleeds, but no Warlock dots. I'd love to see the Warlock, pushing and getting those dots when he can, as soon as he can. Spirit Walker's Grace being forced out, and Trinket, so not too many cooldowns left from Looney. I do believe still Spirit Link, so that's going to be a saving grace, but the one shot is ready from Fritters. He does have his Incarnation back off cooldown, going to be able to do a lot of pressure when he wants on demand.
Yeah, and that is a big deal to have that available. And, it's a shame that Moonkin Beam didn't come in a split second earlier on that kill attempt, because, they got the link off just before that beam came down. And I think they actually might have been able to kill him had they gotten a split second earlier, but a very close call regardless. And Looney, once again, is the target under pressure here. He's put into the Mame, fully bleeded up as well. But Fritters getting feared off there, making it hard for him to really finish him off. He constantly has him low, but never able to really connect for that kill. He's not letting him fake that Skull Bash, though, going for it now. Will he go for the fake now? No. He doesn't bite again, so this is when it starts to get hard. When you keep trying to fake and it's not working, it can get pretty tough for you. You do start to fall behind, but the Healing Tide is going to be dropped once again, and Fritters is going to go right over onto it, is going to kill it off, but that does give Looney some time to heal himself right back up.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely just dropping those totems and using the time the Pharaoh that runs away to go kill those totems, to heal himself back up. But Dagestan, under the pressure now. We do see the UA, the Haunt coming out on him. Tons of damage. Red Hot has his Demon Soul proc. He's using it to the fullest ability, spreading out Haunts on all targets of this team. Dagestan dispels that Haunt off of Foxita. Foxita thrown into the clone onto the spell. Great job by him. Dagestan behind the pillar, comfortably picking himself up. But first, 70 cooldown stuff. He's dipping down to 100k health. Not sure if he's going to go down here. We should see the shield wall force. So.
Yeah, Fritters down very low. The Tranquility actually coming out now as well from Fritters. His Dagestan could go down. Dagestan down to about 200k HP. Going to get feared on the heal. The Battlemaster is up, but the Tranquility Hots are gonna fall down. And Looney actually sitting down for a drink here as he realizes his team has so much pressure, and this is his time to really secure that mana lead. He drinks about 150,000 mana there, so a great job. Sketch is forced to use his shield as a result, but the clone comes out on a Fritters. It gives him that Aura Mastery as well. Because he does have that Symbiosis shield also. Nicely played there by a Sketch. Fritters, though, going right back onto him, knowing he does not have that cooldown available. Can they capitalize on this? Although Looney has a lot of mana, he didn't have to use that cooldown. Dagestan still sitting up at 260,000 mana as well. Both Shamans are maintaining very well. As we do get into the dampening, though, this is going to become much more difficult for both sides, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to capitalize on that dampening. Whoever gets the pressure first, the other team may never be able to catch up. If you're forced defensive during dampening, it can be the end. But Fritters, once again, forced to pop the Barkskin down very low. Catches a big heal, though, from Dagestan. Looney having to pop his Spirit Walker's Grace as well. And he's already burned through about 100,000 of that mana that he did drink back. It's going down very very quickly at this point. You can see dampening is starting to really take effect at this point, I do believe. And Tesoro Foxita does get out of that clone. He is going to be catching those rejuves right now. Dagestan catches the UA to spell himself. He's going to be cloned up off of that, so nicely played by a Skip, knowing he could not be shocked or grounded, as the UA silence was up onto Dagestan, and Foxita sitting pretty low as a result.
Yeah, for sure. I do believe actually the Spirit Link was also forced up by Dagestan. I did see the buff on all of them, so tons of pressure coming up from this LSD, and dampening will be coming in extremely soon if it's not already in already. Demon Soul being popped up by Red Hot. Feral Druid actually deciding to sit on the Boom King, deciding he doesn't have enough cooldowns to push in on that Resto Shaman. And I kind of agree, he was being forced super low, often, pushing into that cubby hole. Looney just using that to his advantage. I don't believe Looney's even used the gate once yet, really try to get away from this Feral Druid. He's just been pulling him back into that room, pulling it off so the Warlock can't get dots on him and kind of picking himself up. So definitely using this map to their advantage. They played a lot together, obviously. And a Skitch, running in at the bear form route. The beam comes down onto Dagestan, tons of damage coming in. Stone form being popped. All the dots on the Dagestan pressure going on to him, and Looney just sitting in the back, sits that main, being okay, the dots do end up falling off him, but the Feral dude onto Red Hot, Pounce comes out, tons of damage pop, the Feral is popping his one shot onto him, the healing cooldowns instantly pop by Red Hot, no hesitation on that, so great job by him recognizing that this Feral damage is only coming really during that cooldowns on him, so using that Dark Region to the best of his ability. Both teams kind of stabilizing here just a little bit, no one really under the huge pressure quite yet.
Yeah, and Looney once again sat down for a big drink there. Both shamans seem to be able to kind of just drink on demand on this map, but did he drink too long? I mean, he has a lot of mana, but if his world goes down, it doesn't really matter. The blanket CS comes out onto Looney. He does have that Unleash up still. If the Unleash expires, it's a really a big deal. And Looney, I'm not sure if he actually even got anything off of that Unleash, so that is a pretty big deal. Nicely played there by Foxita and Fritteris denying him for that Unleash heal, and it does go right back up now, though. He's going to be able to get a big heal up on himself. The Skitch, though, rotting down a fair bit. We do see him down to about half HP, and Looney's kind of having to run back through the middle of the map to be able to get over to his Moonkin. The Mame does come out. Can they actually follow this up with any CC? No, they're just going to swap it over onto Looney, it looks like, and try to get the damage rolling on him once again. But Fritteris, getting pulled into this bad spot like you talked about, is going to be a good target. He's going to have to immediately pop that Bark Skin, as he was very far out of position, and Dagestan, as a result, also having to use that Ascendance to be able to heal him back up. A nice Root Beam, though, comes down from a Skitch onto a Dagestan during that Ascendance, though not really getting any healing out with it. Will it expire before he gets any heals off here? He does throw out that Riptide. Is he going to get the Healing Surge? No, the Healing Surge does not go off before the Ascendance goes down, and Fritteris down so low. Denying that Ascendance may actually be what wins them the game. We do see Dagestan at 30k HP, 10k HP. The NS comes out at 10k after Fritteris was down about 50k HP as well, but the damage is not stopping just yet. Red Hot under a lot of pressure here, but Dagestan has a lot of work to do. His entire team is getting dangerously low. The Clone comes out onto Fritteris, Shadow Fury onto Foxita as well. Red Hot trying to stay alive here into the Mame. He goes from Fritteris, and Fritteris now is doing a lot of damage, but a Skitch gets the Clone onto Dagestan, and Foxita and Fritteris rotting so heavily, and look where Fritteris is. He's way too far, and his Shaman's at the tomb. He's at 30k HP. His shield wall popped at 40k. That was so dangerous there, and he is going to go down as a result, just way overextended. I mean, his Shaman was cloned on the tomb, and he was running into the back of the room, popped his shield wall when he was at 50,000 HP, and a big mistake, honestly, there from Fritteris. A huge overextension from him is going to cost them the series, as that is going to be a 2-1 win here for Blue Lagyna. This Moonkin team battling back, and they do take it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like they weren't using that map. That cubby hole was definitely so good for Looney, just playing so defensively in there, and by doing that, just kind of allowed them to get that pressure on Fritteris that they needed and didn't end up killing him. Wall super late, but pushing him when his Shaman's at the pillar, I mean, you can't do that, especially when dampening starting to climb, as I believe it wasn't in that game. You can't push away from your Shaman. You can't be in there when you're dipping down and you have full Warlock Dust, and you're just going to end up dying, and that's what happened to him. And he did overextend and was pushed down too low and fell with shield wall available, or still up on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not even just that his Shaman was at the tomb. His Shaman was at the tomb in full CC chain, and I mean, if you want to go that ham, I think you have to pop the shield wall early as a big damage reduction, because that shield wall is massive. It's a 50% reduction, right? So it's very strong. He won't die through that if he pops it early, but he just popped it way too late, so it was not going to be enough in that case. But anyway, that is going to be the series, and the Moonkin team actually going to move on. So Foxita, their team does take the first map, but then they lose 2 straight, unfortunately, for them. And they did go down without winning a series, but they actually showed some interesting games. I mean, this series was not the most exciting, I think, is fair to say, but
definitely not the most exciting series. Definitely very long games, but pressure coming out from both teams throughout it.
But
we did see the very good
WLS was a really good series.
That was an extremely good series. Fritteris' team versus Trilla's team was very high damage on both Shamans. Going back and forth so much. Fritteris' team actually